What's up, everyone? Castaway Cards here. I have something I want to talk about, something I've been working on for the last week or so, um, and something I find to be really interesting, to be honest. So I'm kind of interested to see where this goes, and I guess what comes of it. So anyway, up here on screen, of course, I have a screenshot of TCG player here. Of course, you see the Kuromi booster box, and then you see the Kuromi collector box. Now, of interest here, you have the Kuromi box. There's 9 listings. I did not check to see how many total boxes there were, though. But 9 listings. Market price is $69, and looks like the lowest available is 70, almost 73. And then here with the collector box set, you have 3 listings. Again, I didn't check to see how many were actually on the website for sale, but 3 listings, market price of $220, and that looks like the lowest available was $210. And I want to tell you right now, if you're buying these, or really rather any Kuromi product at all, and you're paying these prices or even something similar to it, even half, I would say, you're overpaying, and I would encourage you not to pay that price. And I'll go into why. But first, I expect, like, once this information becomes like more widely known, I wouldn't be surprised if these prices tanked. And I don't know if that would look like, like the fire sales on Quote or not. If we're looking at like 2 boxes, $1 start, and they sell for $15, but I would expect that these prices are going to drop significantly, and I will show you why. I'll go into detail the best I can. So I'm just gonna scroll on. So I have been in contact with the printers of the old MetaZoo in China, and been talking to them for about a week now, going back and forth on some things. And it all started, I reached out, I was like, hey, do you guys have any MetaZoo product for sale? Just pretty easy, quick email. They responded back, they said this: thanks for your messages. Which MetaZoo models do you want? Besides, could you be 100% confident that we can sell MetaZoo inventory? Kind regards, their name. And I responded back to them. I was like, of course, I'm not a lawyer. I certainly can't give them legal advice. But I was like, I mean, yeah, you can sell it. It's your stuff. The bankruptcy's over. It's not like it was product that Charlie bought. So, I mean, I don't suppose there would be any issue with them selling it. That said, I mean, again, not a lawyer. I suppose that if Charlie was super against it for some reason, he could like send a cease and desist letter. Again, I'm not sure the implications of how that works with a foreign company, but anyway, whatever. So this is what they responded with, and that told me right there is like they have MetaZoo. I was like, that's cool. Now I'm like, oh, what do they have? And my mind is racing as I'm thinking back to all the shit that people, were all hyped on, like the war and the legacy and all that crap. On top of obviously the good sets, like MetaZoo, like Kuromi, or sorry, not MetaZoo, like native, like Kuromi. So I responded back and had asked something to the effect of like, what do you have? And this was their response. So she said, CN2 booster boxes, spell books, blister packs, and release boxes, and then Kuromi KCC booster box, the blister pack, the big box, and the collector box, and then the fan art. And then if any of these are like my favorite styles, I guess ones that I'm interested in. So interesting, right? They have Kuromi products, and I want to really think of, I want everyone to really think about like what that means. Think about the Kuromi product. The Kuromi product has a serialized item in it, and I mean it's like what 138, right? And you're talking about they have Kuromi product in China. It's like that's crazy. I wonder how many serial cards are over there. I didn't know at first what they meant by the big bucks, and their lack of a comma here between collector box and fan art. I thought they were saying collector box fan art, and I was like, well, I'm very intrigued by what that means. So I had asked about that a little bit later on. I wanted to get clarification, but I was like, this is really interesting. And so I think I told my response was definitely interested in like all the Kuromi stuff. I wanted to know like, how much it was and like all that good stuff, how many they had. And then I went on. Oh yeah, here's my response. So certainly interested in any of the Kuromi stuff. Do you have any native, legacy, or war product? Not sure if they were printed. Respectfully, me. At this point, the next response came from a different person. The person that I was originally speaking with forwarded our conversation on to somebody else, and I've been in communication with that second person ever since. So this was what I responded. I asked if they had said I was interested in Kuromi, and then I asked if they had native, legacy, or war. And then this was their response. Said, hi, me. Thanks for your reply. I will follow up on MetaZoo products for you. We also have some native stock. And it appears to be theme decks and release boxes, and not much, which I thought was interesting. So, and then Legacy and War, that's unreleased, not exist. So I'm sorry to break that for you all if you were still hoping in the back of your mind somewhere that maybe they printed some more Legacy and it just never made it over here to the States. I'm sorry, that's not the case. It was, it never existed. But they do have some native. Again, back to that, not a lot, which those very small numbers I find to be really interesting, and I think it'll be, by comparison in a moment, you'll see even more interesting how few they are here. That like native really does appear to just be a very short printed set, so that's interesting. So, then she goes on to ask how many I need for Kuromi, and I said something to the effect of like, I just wanted a few, provide me a quote or whatever. And I believe I asked her how much. And then this was also where I asked for clarification on what that big box was. And then the collector box fan art discrepancy without the comma, where I got the clarification. So this is what she had responded to give me that clarification. So she said, this is the big box. And then this is the fan art. So, okay, big box check, fan art check. And then look at that. 5,000 Kuromi collector boxes are available. 5,000. That's 10,000 Kuromi booster boxes. On top of, hold on, we'll scroll back real quick. On top of, they have Kuromi booster boxes and the collector boxes. So they have regular Kuromi booster boxes, and they have 5,000 Kuromi collector booster boxes, which total 10,000 booster boxes of Kuromi just in that SKU. That's crazy, right? So I know the speculation, if you saw like Nick's video from last year, Nick Strickland Pokemon, I'm not sure where he got that number from, but the idea is that there are only 10,000 Kuromi booster boxes in existence, but that is not true. because China has 10,000 plus just sitting, I guess, in a warehouse somewhere. I don't know. Having not been sold to anyone. And they go on to tell me they'll price it based on the quantity. So they'll give me a deal if I buy more, kind of thing. And they want to know if I'm buying it to sell or distribute or whatever. You know, and I said something like, no, I just want them for me. Whatever, I don't think I would sell, you know, any. Maybe I would, I don't know. It depends on how many I bought. Honestly, which just depends on how cheap they were willing to sell them, which I'm currently waiting on the quote for that. So I find that to be really interesting. So then I sent, because I wanted clarification, I said, okay, perfect. The image I attached is the Kuromi collector box, correct? See that? Kuromi collector box. Correct. It is the collect box. So this is what they have 5,000 of. 10,000 booster boxes of Kuromi just in that SKU. That's wild, guys. Fucking wild. Kuromi, I can't say printed into the dirt like Wilderness or fucking UFO, but a lot more exist than we thought. A lot more. These are not nearly as scarce or as valuable as we thought they were. That's interesting. And I said, so the first person I spoke with said that you had CN2 booster boxes in stock as well. How many of those are available? I'm also interested in those. She responded, 12,060 CN2 booster boxes. 12,000, another 12,000 booster boxes sitting at the printers, waiting to be bought. Not that it wasn't already fucking overprinted, but there's another 12,000 fucking boxes just waiting to be bought. So, yeah, that's interesting, guys. I find this to be really interesting. So, more to follow on this as I continue these conversations with these people. I'm going to try to get a quote on some of the product that I'm actually interested in, and hopefully their prices are reasonable, because I would totally love to buy some. Because I don't want to pay those exorbitant TCG player prices on the product that we thought had value. We thought there wasn't many of these. See, 3 listings, you would probably deduce from that there are not many of those in existence. But nope, there's fucking 5,000 of these just sitting in China. 10,000 of these plus, 10,000 plus of these just sitting in China, waiting to be bought. So we'll see what happens, guys. Again, sorry to break the news. No war, no legacy. Those things were never printed. They never existed. Now we can say for certain that that's the case. But thank you for watching all this. Again, more to follow. I'll keep you guys updated. We'll see what happens. Peace.